Good morning. Welcome everyone to the Palace of Auburn Hills, or what's left of it. I'm Roy Akers with Coldwell Banker Professionals, and we're out with our drone this morning on a Memorial Day weekend as we're taking a look at the Palace. When we were last here 3 weeks ago, the Palace was being barreled out. It was being tunneled out from the inside, but now the brick walls are starting to come down. Taking a look at the drive on M24 coming up, there's a couple of huge places in the brick that are no longer there, and we'll take a look with our drone as we're now flying over in between the two entrances that are located on M24. And we're going to get the bearings on the drone real quick, and as we do that, we're going to get ready to come on in and fly. That big dirt mound that you see in the center of your screen, it looks like just a little molehill, but it is about 35 feet tall. Now, I'm able to share my drone videos and commentary with you as a lifetime resident of this area, and I love our community. If you're looking to buy a home, I'm your guy. I know the area and its amenities like no one else. If you are considering selling your home, let's sit down so we can discuss our housing market and how I can guarantee you the best possible price in the shortest amount of time. Hire the guy with the expertise to deliver unequaled service. I'm Roy Akers. We are right now at about 180 feet up into the air and kind of giving you the wide view of what the property looks like. Bet a lot of you didn't know that the roof was white. Well, now you know, as you've seen a couple of our drone shoots. We did one at the beginning of May, and now we are back, and we'll come back a couple of more times before this place becomes a distant memory. First of two shoots that we have today. There's that dirt mound that it's kind of steep to go up for motocross, but I bet you that wouldn't stop someone from trying, as they have no workers today. There are no workers outside the Palace, as now we will get this all centered up, and we're going to kind of come on in and take a look just a little bit closer out there. Tilting down to kind of give you a perspective, we are looking at the Palace as we flew in from the direction of M24 heading south. In the background that you can't see right now is I-75. We'll get you that shot momentarily as we kind of tilt it up for you. And we're going to come on in and momentarily. We have to kind of gauge things because there is a tree line. If you remember going into the Palace from one of the auxiliary lots, they did have some trees, and so we definitely do not want to mess with those. As we now fly, we're trying to get ourselves, there we go, we're going to get ourselves squared on in, and we are just a little over 100 feet in the air right now as you're getting a good look. Yes, you can see where the stands were. If you look at the second floor just below the roof line, those stands are still there. The chairs are all gone. They took those and they sold some of the seats to some of the fans. Let's pan left as you see that retaining pond we brought up moments ago, and M24, and come in looking now. Now, if you notice, you can see one of the entrances to the Palace is on the left. On the right is a second entrance to the Palace. There are four entrances to this arena, one coming off Brown Road that a lot of people would come in, and then we're panning in the direction of the I-75 entrance. It would be like an overflow to either get fans in or to get them out. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of bring this drone up just a little bit more to kind of give you a little bit more of a panoramic view. And we're going to spin around the building, and you can see that even in the auxiliary entrances on the bottom of your screen, as we're kind of tilting around the arena, they've all the garbage and all the refuge and all that's all coming out. The Palace box office is what we have, and where a lot of fans parked, that was on the right side of your screen, as we're going to kind of keep the arena in focus, and we're going to spin around this whole thing. A lot of work has happened. Pretty much everything of value is out of the rink other than tearing it down. It's pretty awful. I'm sure that former Pistons owner Bill Davidson, who built this arena 30 years ago for about $200 million, would be rolling around in his grave right now if he knew that this arena was going down. His widow sold this arena to Tom Gores, and a couple of times there was money put into the arena. I think at least once when Davidson was alive, and once 3 years ago. He put about 90 to 100 million in this arena, and then within a year the Pistons moved down to the LCA. So that's what happens in capitalism. You can build it and you can tear it down at your leisure. Here's a great look at the parking lot, and the lot, you can tell they would certainly be refurbishing it a little bit if the Pistons and the concerts were still down here, but they are not. And as most people know, there were two factions that put concerts on in Detroit. It was the Illich group, and then there was the Palace group. And the agreement is that the Pistons moved down to Detroit, that this arena was going to be shuttered. And Oakland University took a look at it. Some other businesses took a look at the Palace, but in the end, no one decided to do any building on this. And no one's going to do anything with this arena unless it's gone. And it's still being listed by Shostak Company, and I know they have some ties to the Palace, and they're the realtors that are involved. And now we're getting the nice parking lot shot, and we're going to take a look. This entrance below, where you see the huge opening, this is where the loading dock is in the lower level. This is where the Pistons would usually report to work, and they would bring in the trucks for the concerts, and this is where you'd see all the world-class entertainers from all the big bands, and the acts would all come in. And what we're going to do is that there are some trees right below us. We're going to kind of come in. We're just going to kind of jostle the drone a little bit. It's a beautiful morning to fly, and we're going to come on in and get you as much as we can. Unfortunately, there's no light in the Palace, and I'm certainly not going to try to fly between the beams. But you're kind of getting a good look as we have dropped the drone now to about 70 feet, but we are going to come in. How about we give you that shot? The money shot is not always 400 feet in the air, which is the FAA limit. Sometimes you can get far better shots going lower. And because there are no people, we're going to go ahead and take a look. But the stands, the arena stands are there. You can see them if you are driving along M24 on Memorial Day weekend. There's no doubt about it. You can see all that. We're kind of pan it. I think, we're going to fly around. Tilt her just a little bit, as we're going to come on up and give you a little bit better shot of what's going on. I promise you that we are going to fly lower in one of the other entrances. That's going to come up momentarily as we have tilted down to give you that perspective. And this is right now between the two front entrances of the Palace that run along M24, which is on the right side of your screen. The retaining pond and that huge dirt pile that they have dragged out, the workers and demolition team have. I would imagine if this is like some of the other demolition projects we've seen around Metro Detroit, that this arena will probably be done coming down by the middle of July, maybe the end of July, as long as they don't run into any hiccups. As we have decided, let's take a look. We're going to go down. Take a tilt down one more time. Right now we're at about 170 feet in the air. It sure doesn't look it, does it? Almost looks like we're right on top of the arena. That's one of the great things about flying when you do not have people. You can get in the vantage point a lot better. A lot of people don't know that FAA prohibits us from flying over large crowds of people. I'm not saying a person or two or three, but we can't fly over the top of a high school football game. At least we're not supposed to. You can do it from the peripheral, but you just can't fly right over the stands. And now let's take a look as we went to one opening in the Palace, and now is where we started off our day just a little bit ago. And we're going to kind of give you this. You should be able to see. We're going to some of the stands in the lower level. And you can see where the stands are going down. And I got a question for you. I mean, what was the best concert or two or three best concerts you ever saw at this place? How about the best sporting event? I mean, anybody see any of the NBA title games for the three Pistons championship teams? Great players that came on in. I know I've seen everybody who's played in the NBA over the last 30 years in this rink, in the Palace and Cobo Hall before that. But you can take a look. You got a great shot moments ago as we tilted down and now right back up. And we're double checking just to make sure there wasn't a tree, as we don't want anything at all to do with that. But Palace on M24, it's what a real shame. Now, Tom Gores, the current owner of the Pistons, is a equity guy, and so basically what they do is they buy companies' debt, they squeeze the life out of those companies, and then they sell those companies for chump change. And so as far as having ties to anything, I think that he has ties to the almighty dollar, and that's pretty much it. Flying around the rink, as we're going to give you that one more shot, and momentarily we will take you up to 400 feet in the air and kind of give you the aerial perspective of what's going on. This is Brown Road to our left, and that great big mound way out there, flying at a little over 100 feet in the air right now, that's the garbage dump. And now we're giving you that money shot all the way around the building, and we're going to stop right where we started just a moment ago. Pretty cool stuff. Now, if you have any requests that you want to have us do for you, please go ahead and respond to this video. We have been taking requests. A lot of them I was going to shoot anyway at one time or another, but you never know. As long as it's FAA compliant, we'll do that. Now you see the drone. We're going to be going up to 400 feet in the air as you see I-75 into your background, and M24 as it runs into Pontiac and becomes Perry Street. As you're looking way off into the distance and taking a look at that Palace parking lot one more time. There's Guardian Industries, the black building to the right, and now comes center into the focus, and the big parking lot, and in there as well as the Pistons practice facility, which they still practice at as recently as about 1 year ago, before the Pistons had a facility built in downtown Detroit. I've been where the Red Wings have a practice facility at the Little Caesars Arena, but the Pistons, they got into the game so late there was no room for them to practice at LCA when there was concerts going on, so they had to come back up to the Palace, and now they've found some kind of space down there, and I'm not sure where they practice at because I don't cover them anymore. Taking a look at M24, the parking lots and so forth, as we are going around the building for a final time for this shoot. Now, I'm able to share my drone videos and commentary with you as a lifetime resident of this area, and I love our community. If you're looking to buy a home, I'm your guy. I know the area and its amenities like no one else. If you are considering selling your home, let's sit down so we can discuss our housing market and how I can guarantee you the best possible price in the shortest amount of time. Hire the guy with the expertise to deliver unequaled service. I'm Roy Akers.